Good morning. It's a great pleasure to be here with that congressman who's just a huge champion for education and students, and really about building the future of this country. So it's just an absolute honor to be here. Just a couple things in terms of the the jobs bill that's kind of struggling in Washington. I will tell you, last year we had to lay off about 1,000 teachers to meet budget shortfalls and balance the budget. Additional layoffs for the next school year, on top of all this, is just really unthinkable, as it will result in unacceptable class sizes and reduced educational opportunities for our children. And we all know America can do better than this. This is supposed to be the country where every child has an opportunity to a quality education and a shot at the American dream. The same opportunities I had when I was a kid growing up. So investing in our children and education is the only way we're going to secure a strong future in the 21st century. So preventing teacher layoffs is going to be a key for us. It's going to enable us to give our children in Broward County and the rest of the nation better educational services. We also are facing challenges with our facilities. We've had to cut back about $1.8 billion in needed capital improvements over our 5-year capital plan for our facilities and our classrooms. I would also like to note that over 60% of our computers are out of warranty and need to be replaced. So modernizing our public schools as well is another key investment that needs to be made. So the bottom line is we just really need to get our priorities straight and invest in education. It's the only way we're going to restore the American economy as a global leader. This is not just about jobs. It's a down payment on our future. With that said, I'd like to bring up our esteemed congressman, one of our champions and our fighters in Washington and across the country. And again, it's just a great pleasure to be here with her. And so, Congressman.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Superintendent Runcie and School Board Member Robin Bartleman, School Board Member Vice Chair of the School Board Anne Murray, for having me here at Attucks Middle. Go Eagles! I'm really thrilled that I think we all should be thrilled that Superintendent Robert Runcie has come to Broward County. Welcome to South Florida. Welcome to Broward County, the best school district in the entire country. Possibly in addition to Miami-Dade County, because I represent that area too. So I'm so fortunate to represent the 2 top school districts in the entire country. And
2 Bro Prize finalists.
I know, and 2 Bro Prize finalists. So I'm not just saying that or being parochial. We really do have 2 of the finest school districts in South Florida in the entire country, and that's just a tremendous source of pride for me to have the bragging rights to that distinction. And I'm looking forward to touring Attucks after we're finished here this morning, and it is so great to see all the kids here. I've gotten to meet just about every single one of them, and they are all amazing. There is an incredible technology magnet here at Attucks Middle School, and it is a jewel of the school system. And as Anne Murray said, one of the best kept secrets, which we now will have an opportunity to promote and help shine because we're all here. And Attucks Middle School will be hopefully broadcast across South Florida. And it really is wonderful to be home in South Florida today, to join the superintendent and our members of the school board, and also to have Cherine Akbari join us as well to talk about an issue that's important to all of us in our future, and that's the education of Florida's children. As a mom, I have kids in Broward County Public Schools. All 3 of my kids attend Broward County Public Schools, and so I see the problems and the successes that exist in the school system every single day, not just in my role as a policymaker, but in my role as their mom. From my time as chair of the Higher Education Committee in the Florida House of Representatives to the past 7 years as a member of Congress representing the 20th District here in South Florida, I've been fighting for teachers and for students every single day of my career. Now, as many of you know, and as the superintendent mentioned, Congress has been inching over the last several months, inching ever closer to taking on, finally, comprehensive reform of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, otherwise known as No Child Left Behind. Now, unfortunately, the current gridlock in Congress is causing this process to take far too long, and ultimately it's hurting our kids. Florida's students, principals, teachers, and families need relief from No Child Left Behind, and they need it now. It's absolutely critical. I'll tell you, I don't know how many years we have all talked about the importance of changing No Child Left Behind so that we don't have a situation where almost all of the focus on a student's ability is on the results of one high-stakes exam. We know that we have ways of measuring student success in so many different ways, but we don't even make an effort because No Child Left Behind was structured so rigidly that it makes it impossible for some students to demonstrate their ability and to show what they've learned. So it's absolutely imperative that we allow some flexibility, a lot more flexibility than has ever been allowed before, and I'm looking forward to President Obama's waivers coming down so that we can make sure that that happens. 2 weeks ago, I hosted a conference call with the Secretary of Education, Arnie Duncan, our superintendent, Mr. Runcie, and Miami-Dade superintendent, Alberto Cavallo, along with the Miami-Dade and Broward school board members and the student advisors to both school boards, to discuss education reform and the needs of two of our nation's largest school districts right here in South Florida. Both of our superintendents on that call echoed the same sense of urgency. We can't wait. Today is the first deadline, today, November 14th, that states can apply for those waivers, and I'm pleased that Florida intends to submit one. President Obama has said it is time to stop waiting for Congress to get off the dime, stop the partisan gridlock, and make sure that we can do what's best for our nation's public school students. And this would be the right move for Florida's schools and Florida's students. The fact remains that we can't improve education without our teachers leading the way. Despite this, as we all know, the last few years we've seen far too many teachers laid off all over Florida and across the country. And it's unacceptable that since May, 1,400 teachers have been laid off right here in Broward County. And that is not because the school district relished doing that. It is unfortunately because Republicans in the House of Representatives have refused to take action to create jobs, have refused to even vote on the President's American Jobs Act. And it's important that everyone know that this legislation would bring much needed education funding right here to Florida. The American Jobs Act would support some 25,000 teachers' jobs right here in Florida. That's 25,000 teachers who could stay in their jobs, stay in the classroom, saving our kids from even further disruption and further overcrowded classrooms. It could also mean creating new teacher jobs. We need to encourage the next generation of educators because we can't afford to miss an entire generation of potential leaders because we lack the means to bring them into the classroom. The American Jobs Act would also provide $1.2 billion in modernization funds for Florida's public schools. That's over $1 billion in funds to improve our schools so that our teachers have the resources that they need to provide a 21st century education to all students. Now, we went out with a bond issue here in South Florida a few years ago and statewide when I was in the state legislature because at one point we had overcrowding that was so awful, and we still have overcrowding that is very, very challenging. But we had a situation where we had children in portable classrooms with air conditioners so loud that the kids couldn't hear the teacher, leaks all over their belongings. It was an environment, mold. It was an environment that was absolutely untenable. Now, we've improved the situation significantly, but we still have dramatic overcrowding, and we absolutely need to make sure that kids aren't packed into classrooms like sardines. That's just an unacceptable, untenable situation for our kids to be able to make sure that they are prepared for the path they choose in life as they move through the public school system. We need our students to be college and career ready when they graduate from high school. And it's not fair to expect that our teachers will be able to meet that goal when their classrooms are crumbling and they lack basic technology infrastructure. So I'm here today to ask all of you, all of us, tell your colleagues, your friends, and neighbors, because we need everyone to know about all the positive things that the American Jobs Act would mean for Florida's kids. I don't need to tell anyone here how badly Florida needs these funds, but I do want to assure you that I'm working hard to make the President's plan a reality for students in Broward and all across the nation. So thank you again, Superintendent Runcie, and the members of the school board for joining me here, and for Attucks Middle for hosting us today. It's great to see the progress that you're making right here in Broward for our kids. Thank you so much for all that you all do. And now I want to have everyone hear from a very special individual. Her name is Cherine Akbari. She's a Broward County history teacher who was one of the many teachers who unfortunately was laid off in May. Thank you for being here today, and we look forward to hearing your story and your perspective. Cherine? Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Cherine Akbari, and I'm an unemployed high school history teacher from Fort Lauderdale. I was one of the 1,400 laid off in Broward County. I had just purchased a house, and I moved into it on May 1st. 5 days later, I was out of a job. So I'm worried about losing my home, which I bought thinking I was going to have a long career in education. Of course, I have my own concerns. How am I going to pay for my house, pay my bills, see a doctor? But despite all that, I'm more worried about my students. News of the layoffs spread quickly throughout my school, and several of my students stopped by my classroom to see if the rumors were true. One student was visibly upset, and she told me that I had made her want to learn. Another one burst into tears in front of an entire classroom of students. And when I tried to console her, she said to me, "You don't understand. You changed my life. I want to major in history because of you. I want to become a teacher because of you." And I didn't know what to say to her. It broke my heart. I couldn't help but wonder if she wanted to become a teacher, would there even be a job available for her? So instead of being in front of my students today in the classroom, I'm here. And I'm here to urge Congress to pass the American Jobs Act. I'm one of hundreds of thousands of teachers in the United States out of work. And this bill could provide immediate relief. It would put teachers back in their classrooms where they belong. It'll reduce class sizes, and that will ensure that our students will learn better and receive more of the individual attention that they deserve. So thank you so much for having me here today. I hope we can get something done.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Cherine. You said it better, certainly, than any of us could. And we'd be glad to take any questions.